Interviews with Yoube, a podcast produced by bisnation.net members.
Alright guys, I am here with Vanilla Milk, who is going to cap off the Saturday interviews for the Twink Cup team leaders. Now, what team are you leading? And I believe you would prefer to go by another name over the course of this?
Maybe. I prefer personal names over character names. Right? But yeah, I'll take leading in quotation marks. I can get onto that a little bit later, but yeah. I'm representing at least GSC, which is the abbreviation of Gurubashi Surf Club, which was like a foundation about 4 years ago, I think. And since then, we've been calling ourselves various different things, but in the end, I think GSC is sticking, and that's what we're going by.
All right, before I get into the meat of what I want to talk to you about, I recall it was a while ago. You guys came from the 29 bracket, if I remember correctly, right?
You
guys have the website set up, and it's with that cool dome surfing. Yeah, we have some cool designers, or at least one cool guy who's very good at stuff like that. But I guess so. Well, I'll Twink for like about almost as long as John has. I like to say at least, but I went from different names back then. And then I think I decided to come back in Canada. And then I just like, I don't know, like this is the 29 bracket felt really relaxing in some weird way. And then I just decided like, let's start a thing here and try and see if we can gather a family up. And here we are 4 years later. And yeah. So I wrote a really cool. I actually don't like this in the stream chat. I wrote a really, really cool. Okay, I'm being a little biased now. No, go ahead, man. This is all on you. I mean, whatever you want to say, this is your time to say it.
I wrote a story about how we started with lots of shout-outs. But anyway, yeah. So yeah,
your sign up in one way I thought was incredibly clever and funny and entertaining, and in another way, if I was the person handling, I would have wanted to strangle you at the throat.
Don't worry. I want to clarify that actually, because we wanted to make an original sign up, and I felt like that was the. But no, I didn't. I understood that it was going to be a hell for Miriam to deal with, so I wrote just to clarify for anyone watching. I wrote to Miriam personally with all the links and all the real sign up, so you just could easily copy and paste that to the sign up sheet. So there was no trouble for him whatsoever. We just looked cosmetic and pretty on the outside. No,
it was definitely interesting. I was reading through it. Even HB was like, they signed up. It was kind of cool the way you guys did it. And I was like, oh god, thankfully, because I wanted to go through too and be able to pull up your Warsong Gulch roster. So I go over to the Twink Cup sign up sheet and I'm like, oh, if it has those verses, I have no idea what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna, And then you guys also came through. And in a weird, I feel like this is almost a really smart thing. You guys named your arena team Hunter Priest Mage. And none of you guys were Hunter Priest Mage. And it even was confusing the shoutcasters at one point.
It was? Wow. I find that, I guess not odd at all. Of course, the idea behind it was that it was going to create some mind games. But like, I was never intended for it to like mess up the casters' experience of casting. Like, that sounds awful.
Oh, I think it made it even better, because it's like, they're on the Shaman, aka the Mage, or no, they're on Mage, aka the Shaman.
Yeah, I guess.
All right, so let's move back, because this is something we were talking about when we were just chatting in Skype the other day, and I thought this was one of the coolest things, greatest things, really kind of what the heart of when we talk about community means. And I am going to put this up in stream so you guys can see it right now. And that is the Indiegogo for you. And
you're linking the...
I have it up right now so people in stream can see. I'm just going to hand it off to you here.
I'm not on the stream, by the way, so I can't really see what anyone is showing.
Oh, no, it's right now I'm showing the Indiegogo page that you were telling me about. I have that pulled up so people in stream can see it. And if you'd like to explain
kind of the things behind it, because I thought this was one of the best things.
Sure. Well, so I don't know. I've been working as a bartender, doing various different things. I was born and raised in, actually not born, but I was raised in a small European country in Scandinavia, which is north of in Europe. It's called Denmark. And I've been a bartender and a lot of different gigs, and on the sideline I've always played WoW, which I feel like everyone has in common. So anyway, about 10 months ago or so, I decided, you know what, I've tried studying, wasn't really my passion, I'm not really interested in it now. I am interested in gaining character development, which I knew was something that you can't just read in books. So something you had to like harden your skin and actually like face the real life. So this is a true story. This is not bullshit or anything. So I saved up a little bit of money, and by a little bit I mean a little bit. I had enough money. Exactly, I had enough money for it's called a plane ticket over there, and a few $100 for food, which like emptied pretty fast. So I traveled. I ended up traveling to the other side of the world, in the Caribbean, to a few islands called the Virgin Islands. And I went there because I like the idea of me being there. And honestly, in real life, in reality, that's the only reason I ever do things, is because there's some idea in my head, and I like how this sounds. So therefore, I'm going to take action and try to make myself. Like when phrasing this, it sounds pathetic, and I think it's pathetic, but that's the only way I know how to.
No, don't feel that way.
Live my life. So I bought a plane ticket over there, and obviously didn't have very much money. I tried everything from sleeping on the beach to I wanted to. This was still at a time where I had a little bit of money left, but it wasn't really enough for me to accomplish anything. So I ended up sleeping on the beach a few days, a lot of days actually. And I had trouble with some of the people living there. If I slept on the wrong beach, some of the people living there, they would come like at night, and they would like play an act of like real tough, and they would shove me off the beach and so on. So, but anyway, so it went like a week or so until I got the rhythm up, and started sort of earning like small gigs. I was a waiter for a little bit of time, but it was small gigs, like literally. They ended very shortly, as I didn't really have passion for it, and I don't know why, but like when you don't have any money, you sort of like have to do things you don't want to. But I felt like
it's a driving force, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, I guess. But I lost a lot of weight. And long story, boring.
No, that's fill it in. Don't feel you need to cut it short.
I don't want to, like, this is so off topic though. I don't know.
No, it's fine. I think just judging based on what stream has been leading up to this is kind of what they wanted to hear. And I know this is something I was super interested in when you brought it up.
Okay. So anyway, like days go past and I'm losing a lot of weight. I'm not gonna lie, I stole a lot of food, and I sneaked in to hotels and pretended I was guests there in order to get more food and stuff like that. It's not like, I'm not gonna lie, it's not like I was some third world person who had to like, I don't know, who had nothing but just like, but I for me it was pretty rough, and I'm not kidding, I had no money, so I was, if I really wanted to like have a somewhat pleasant day, I would have to steal food. Well, so anyway, yeah.
Well, I was just gonna say, like, I mean, that had to have been a huge culture shock for you as well. I mean, not only going somewhere and you have limited funds, but going to the Caribbean, I'm not sure how much more of a difference you could kind of experience.
That was one of the main reasons I wanted to go there. I'll go a little bit into this in a second. But one of the reasons I feel so appealed to places like that are because they're exactly like you said, they're so different from what I'm used to. In this modern world, where everything is about electronics and who's wearing the newest fashion and so on. And even though I sort of lived in that style, I just got fed up with it, and I wanted to try something else. But also I'm not gonna lie. I sort of picked the bitch off option of all the options, all the places I could have went. I actually went to a place I've been before, I haven't been the place on the islands I was when I went there, but I've been in the area because my mother she was born and raised in the somewhat same area, so I felt like I had some kind of, I don't know, some sort of root family agenda to go. I don't know why. I felt more safe going. So I guess
I don't think that's what you said, like the bitch out. I don't think that's a bitch out at all. I think that was just the like if you wanted to make a leap like that, it's smart to go somewhere where at least you have some sort of reference.
Yeah, it was just somewhat a safe option. Yeah. So yeah, I picked that. And what else? I've lived on the beach. I've earned money here and there. I ended up living a lot in bed and breakfasts. And then I'm not sure what came first. This is crazy, and this is fucking real talk. I'm sitting in a bed and breakfast. I'm spending my last $20, which I just earned the day before or something like that. And then this guy, he's like 5'6" or something like that. Elder guy, and I don't know, I'll say like mid-60s, comes up to me. He starts asking me all these questions, and I'm sitting there like I'm not in a bad mood necessarily. I'm enjoying the view. It's an amazing place, by the way. The water, there's a view to the water. The ocean is fucking incredible. The moon is big, and all that jazz. And then this guy, he starts talking to me. I'm a little bit confused. I'm sitting there in my tank top, my underwear, and I'm on the brink on like falling down mentally because I know I have to like work up again, and I can't sleep for another day. He starts interviewing me, or he starts asking me questions, and it leads up to an interview.
Okay.
And I find out that he's interested in somewhat hiring me, and I'm a little bit confused, and I feel I'm pretty sharp socially, so my first thing that comes into mind is what are his agendas, and why the hell would he want to hire me? Like, what have I done to him? But it turns out that apparently something with my mother's friend or something.
There are heels coming.
My mother grew up with her. It's something really corny. They knew each other, and then he was looking for fresh blood or something. And because he knew the person my mother grew up. I don't know, but somehow he had some connection to me. He heard about me. It wasn't that he wasn't looking for me, but he finds out through asking me questions because he's just a curious person, I guess.
Okay.
That I am me, in fact, and my mother's son, and my mother knew someone he knew, and he had heard about my mother, or I don't fucking know. So it ends up that he it's not right. It's not a job right on the spot, but he tells me he asks for my details, and I'm like, dude, I have a computer with me. And I don't know why. Honestly, I don't know why I brought my computer with me. But anyway, I had no phone.
Going back to what you said, if I understand what you started off with saying, you kind of wanted to do some sort of gaming sort of thing. So is that kind of why you brought it, or?
Honestly, it was just for comfort. I didn't go to the Caribbean to do gaming or whatsoever, like at all. I actually came there to like get away from that world, I think so. But obviously it ends up leading me back to the gaming world. Okay, I'll try to speed this a little bit up. So this guy,
take your time, dude. It's fine.
Gives me the details of his assistant or something like that, and I ended up borrowing the bed and breakfast place's phone the day when I have to leave, and I end up talking with this really, really charming female who's apparently in New York, and his assistant, and she sounds pretty young, and I'm a little bit surprised. And she tells me, "Yo, I've been, somewhat appealed by our conversation today." And it's like she tells me that she's coming to the Virgin Islands tomorrow, and I'm like, "What the fuck? Okay, that sounds cool." Okay. And we end up, she comes with 3 of her buddies who are like, I don't know, I'd say late 20s, and we go on a dinner date interviews thing, and they talk what the whole plan is and why I'm here, and I'm so blown away. Like, nothing like this in my life has ever happened. I'm like, fucking serious. So what happens is that the person who originally talked to me, which is, by the way, he's a kind way of saying he's very eccentric. He's quite weird, but apparently he's some multi-millionaire person with a lot of projects. And these young people who are now sitting at a dinner table with me, they are all graduated PhD students for each their subject. So it's completely crazy. So speed up a little bit. I am somehow impressed them, which I feel very comfortable in social situations where I don't know people.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm very good at being deceptive, and apparently that's what they got from me. And
that must have been one hell of an experience for you. You're sitting around all these people with PhDs, this eccentric millionaire, and you're like, I came over here just to find something new, and all of a sudden I'm thrust into this situation. You'd have to be able to step up to the plate, so to speak, and feel comfortable enough just to get a word in, or to have them let you sit there for another 5 minutes.
And they pay for like this luxurious seafood, the best restaurant in town. It felt like a movie, and it was crazy, and it gets even better. So after I nailed the dinner conversation, because I assume I've acquired my social skills from being a bartender and knowing how to bullshit people. I wasn't bullshitting them. I guess I was just playing my cards and like. But anyway, they liked it and they bought it, and it ends with they explain all the projects this older man has planned, and he wants to build a rum factory in the Caribbean, and he has a lot of different projects. So he buys a house. Not a house. I'm sorry, like a landmark, where there's 8 villas in this landmark, and this is real fucking. This is a true story. It's called Fortuna Mill. It's in the Caribbean, and you can Google it right now, and you can see like this whole view. It's like a landmark with 8 villas, a swimming pool, and like this windmill that was built. I don't fucking know, in some war that they had there.
Tell me somehow this windmill powers the whole compound, and it's like this millionaire is just sitting up there like, all right, guys, let's go make some rum.
I don't know, dude. I don't even know, but it was crazy. So anyway, he buys this property in order for the people he was looking to hire, so they would have a place to live. So, like, out of no fucking where, I am from living, like having no money, having $20 while getting food, and having an interview, to actually being invited to this millionaire's house and living in one of his villas, like privately. I had my own fucking villa, and with swimming, I didn't have my own swimming pool. There's like a huge swimming pool in like the middle of each. Like there's like 8 houses, and and I was like, "Are you fucking serious?" And I started using, like, there was internet there and everything. And I started.
How excited were you to get back? I know, like, you were saying, like, at first it was like, I want to do the video game thing. Then you came over there and you were excited about the fact that, you know, it wasn't all that interconnected sort of atmosphere. But how excited were you to get back on the internet?
I made a promise to myself. One of the promises was that I was not gonna. I was trying to restrain myself from actually going online and actually contacting with people who were like, or I don't know, with friends and people from Denmark and so on. And that was hard, but of course, obviously there I stopped. And I opened my computer, I had internet, and it was lovely. But anyway, so I'm living in this fucking house, and I'm speeding this stuff up. I find out that they hired me not because of intellect, which I felt like I could offer, but obviously I had no education, like on their level whatsoever. So that made more sense to me. So he hired me because. Some connection to my mother. He believed I had courage and whatnot, and was fresh for new ideas. And then because I was hired there for muscle. That was basically what I was hired for. And I was totally fucking fine with that.
Yeah, it sounds like you had a good deal going there.
Any fucking day, and I ended up making a lot of money for like a lot of money, especially for me. I earned a lot of money, and I had an awesome experience. I worked there for like 1 or 2 months, I think, or something like that, and then I ended up getting fired over a moral issue. Actually, I'm not even sure if I got fired. I'm not afraid to say if I get fired, or if I get dumped by girlfriends or whatever. But like, no, actually, I'm pretty sure I sort of quit.
So
I gave him.
If you're comfortable saying, like, what was the moral issue? And like you're saying, you're hired for muscle. What was it? Just like, I mean, when you say muscle, it makes me think you're carrying. So
the person, the millionaire, he's this not only multimillionaire, but he's this genius dick. And I was totally okay with that. I felt like I could easily deal with those people. And he's literally an asshole. He has Asperger's, and he has issues with dealing with people socially, and he has an IQ of like 180. And
but sort of the pros outweigh the cons in this scenario.
So there was an immoral issue where he hired me. So he hires young people. That's why the whole deal was formed in the first place. He hires young people once. He tries their potential, and then he pushes them, and then he sees what where they fit in, if there's something for him or whatnot. And obviously, I passed his test, and I got to live in his house and whatnot. Yeah. And he hired me as a project manager, and I was literally I was a young man in my mid-20s, and I was hired there as a project manager. My first fucking project managing, and I was supposed to manage the construction of this big rum facility, which I was going to build. And I had a certain amount of budget, it was no budget whatsoever.
Yeah.
Supposed to somehow trick my way into having people give us the best deals whatsoever. And real talk, I fucking nailed that shit. I fucking owned everyone, and he was impressed. And anyway, so it ends with it as a moral issue with a building we were building. There's something an infectious not disease, but I'm not sure what it is. What do you determine it by? But there's something called asbestos.
Oh yes, it's a cancer-causing agent. Let's use.
Right. And it was in the walls, and there was some dilemma by he didn't want to spend money on testing it or something. I can't really remember. It was a little bit iffy issue, and it ends with me saying, "I'm sorry, but I'm not really into this whole thing enough for me to do anything like this without precaution." And then I end up telling him, "I think you should fire me." And all along, I wasn't really having fun doing all this. I was earning a lot of money, and I was trying this crazy experience, but that's not why I came there. It's not why I traveled halfway around the world. I didn't come there to make money. I came there for experiences, and I got my experience, tried something new, and then I decided, you know what? I think this is where I say stop and let other people who are way better at this thing than me.
Well, it seems like you got almost a lifetime of experience just while you were there. I mean, you went from going over there with sort of the ideals in your pocket and short on money, sleeping on the beach, having to adjust to the culture, to somehow or another fandangling your way into this dinner, to getting your own villa in the employment of a millionaire, how you are somehow helping create a rum factory. And now I want to get to the reason that I had the screenshot up.
Right, sorry, and that's what I mean. I was afraid to fucking draw everything out so long.
No, man, it's something I was interested in. I hope everyone else listening is interested in it, and they still want the Dan cam, by the way. But
they do, damn it.
It's been one of the prevalent messages in chat.
Right. So speed up a little bit. I get fired. I'm back to living on the street. However, I have a sum of money. I'm not sure how it happened. And honestly, I'm not even sure if this happened before I got the job. But I remember me being realization hitting me, and I was really fucking down. I bear in mind I'm alone on this island. And I can't remember, but I bowed up. Electricity went out in my bed and breakfast place, and I got scared, and I think a little tear came out of me, and I decided to go outside and get some fresh air and think over why I was here and what I was doing. And it ends with me going on and finding an internet cafe and finding some internet or something like that, and to connect with the real world.
Yeah.
Quotation marks. And then an old friend of mine called Andreas. I see he tried to contact me 2 days ago, and I've literally not had contact for anyone in quite a while here. Even though I've had connections to the internet, I've not really contacted anyone besides a few handful of people. I literally have to this day I have 40 unread messages on Facebook and so on. But anyway, so this old guildie of mine, he contacts me and he tells me about this awesome event going on in the U.S. And he tells me, yo, this U.S. tournament is happening, and we should play, and it's 19s, and it's gonna be a huge thing. And I'm I get so pumped, and I'm such a fucking nerd, so obviously I'm holy fucking yeah, let's fucking do it. And then I realize, wait, what the fuck? I'm in the middle of right? So after trying to really talk into figuring out how this is going to work, and me stealing internet from neighbors with my computer sitting outside in the sun and my computer overheating and whatnot. I'm sitting there in the middle Caribbean, like meanwhile trying to spend my time wisely, and I get like really into like all this twinking stuff again and 19s and so on, and I do my homework and I'm sitting there doing my homework, watching VODs of people playing pre-mates, and I literally, this is not even a joke either, like this is just how I work. So I end up like spending and writing like 20 pages of notes and of things I imagine will happen in the Twink Cup, and like how I imagine the meta will break up, and so far we haven't really gotten away from this book. So anything that has happened for me, and anything that I've played, and anything I've seen happen during people warming up for Twink Cup was actually written in this little notebook. It's not a book in IRL on my computer. I just like write notes and stuff like that. So speed it up. Sorry. So it ends up we find out that I have enough money to go there, and I don't lie to anyone. I tell people like I had a good job. I have enough money to go to a place where I can actually play this computer game. And you guys know me. I'm weird, I'm funky, and I'm totally game for going to another country in order for us to do this. But I explain to them that, you know what, I'm sorry, but I will have enough money to go there, but I won't have enough money for me to live off. And they're such fucking incredible people. I can't remember who exactly started it. But they talked through, and we ended up creating Indiegogo thing for me to get me out of the Caribbean. And you probably linked it in the chat already.
I have it up on the stream right now, so people can.
I get all sad of talking about it, but like the people who I've never met like ever in my life, bear in mind that I've been talking to these wonderful young men and young females even for quite a while, past 4 or 5 years or even more. But I've never met these people in my life. They made a fundraiser for me